going to do a tire change on a 2023 KTM 890. Okay, so this is a Rabaconda tire changer. Obviously makes everything easier. I know you all don't have one of these, but you can put this tire on top of another tire, like the new tire, if you want to do it on the floor. You can put it on a milk crate. I mean, there's a million different ways to do it. Valve stem comes out. Now we're going to break the bead. So this is a tubeless style bike, but I prefer to run a tube. There's 50,000 different arguments behind that. To me, it's easier to rebead a tire on the trail with a tube in it. There's a pinch there. So we're going to deseat this tire. We're going to turn it over. Do the same on this side. We're going to clean this seal while we're here. Good time to check your wheel bearings. Knock it off the bead. Soapy water. The key to all of these tire changes is lubrication. So I'm now going to set up a number of spoons in here. Obviously there's no bead lock on this tire. I do need to undo this nut. Hold the tube in. I'm going to put 3 or 4 spoons in here, trying not to go too deep and pinch my tube as I'm dismounting the tire. Once I get that far, all of these spoons can come out. I sat with Dan Bryant, Dan the photo man, yesterday at lunch. Told him I watched his video on tire change, which I'm sure most of you have seen. Excuse me, have seen. I told him that I had one more tip for him to help him out. So basically, once we deseat the tire on this side, I like to get my tube out. Actually, I'm just going to leave it in. Turn the tire over, same process. We're going to pull the tire off this side. So therefore the tire, this is the difference between what Dan did and what I'm going to do, is we're going to dismount the tire on both sides. Okay. We can get away with 3. So we'll dismount the tire on both sides. You can get down to 1 tire lever. Once you've got the tire dismounted on both sides, hopefully you can see this. Let the tire drop down into the drop center like so. Once it's down in there, pull this tube out first. Now that I can, so we don't pinch it and mess it up. This one's being a little stubborn. The tie lever over a little bit. Once we get it started, it will just keep going. And there you go. We are off. I'm going to air this up, make sure it doesn't have any holes and it's good, run it under some water, and then we'll put our new tire on. So I aired up this tube about 10 minutes ago. It was at 7.7 pounds. It's still there, so tube is good. These are the Motion Pro. You can inflate and deflate. They're just a good tool if you're doing a lot of tire changes. I'm going to leave a little bit of air in it to mount it. It's less likely to be pinched with a little bit of air in the tube. I'm going to mount this TRXQ, a 90-90-21 Tractionator Ralls, or Rally, as we call them in Australia. So this is what I'm going to put on this time. And they are rotational. You'll see the arrow. Just be aware. Having a brake caliper on both sides, the easiest way to tell is the ABS ring will be on the, what we call it, the driver's side, the side you get on. So you'll know which direction the wheel's going to turn. It's turning this way, so this is the way it will get mounted. So once we've got our tyre, we have checked that the direction is correct. You can get it wrong. Ask me how I know. So as you can see, that tube's in there and it's got a little bit of tension on it, which will help us stop spooning that thing in the wrong place. You can put baby powder in here first, just help with friction and whatnot. Honestly, I typically don't. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not, but what I do is I use Murphy's Tire Wax, and I make sure I get a light coating inside and out. Anyway, the idea is that that lube there will make it at least 50% easier to mount your tire. Some of you like to use a fishing tool to get that through, but if you actually take care of it now, matter of fact, you can put your hand behind the tube, get that in now, and get your valve stem nut on it, you don't have to go fishing. I'll get that nut pretty snug, and the reason why is I'm trying to keep that valve stem centered on that hole. So starting from here, we'll push that tire down on there as much as we can, being aware of our tube not being in the way. This is where this end of the spoon comes in handy. And this is where a Rabiconda is awesome. I'll pull that down over there and I'll put it under here like a bead buddy, basically making sure my tube is out of the way, and nice and easy spoon out. It's back on, so the bottom just fell completely on due to the lube. We'll leave that guy in there, make sure my tube's not in the way, and with the other spoon, not getting too greedy, we can spoon the tire back on. And if you're in the field, oh, I don't have lube. Yeah, you do. You can use sunscreen, get your toiletry bag out, you could use shaving cream. I'm just going to keep pushing this down into the drop dead center. You can actually stick that down in there, because I don't want to pinch my tube here. I keep checking little bites. Make sure that's in the drop center. like that, drop down in there. Whoop. If you're worried about scratching your rim, you've got something wrong with you mentally, you probably shouldn't be riding adventure bikes. Anyway, there you go, pretty simple. I am not worried about scratching my rims. If you are, then make a rim guard, put it on, all good. I've got more dents and scratches in my rim just from use than so my valve stem's pretty centered there. We're going to push a little air, seat that up on that bead. It's going to seat quickly with that lube. And I'm going to push, I don't feel, it feels like it's seated. I'm going to push about more than it needs, probably 35-40 pounds of air. That's only 20. And it's 31 because I probably won't ride this bike again for a little bit. 31 pounds. Basically, we're done. We're going to clean up this rim while I've got it off because it's easier. A valve stem, I like it. It's nice and straight. Typically, you don't run this nut all the way down onto the valve stem. You leave it a little bit off, but this is actually just a plastic dust shield type cover. So I'm going to run down finger firm, and then I run these, I think they're called Fobo tire pressure monitors. And it's telling me 29.4 because I did lose some air when I screwed that valve stem off. When I take the rear one off, obviously this will zero out. I'll put it on hold. It's a good system. It will alert you even with this app closed. And if you're running a Cardo, it'll alert you in your helmet. So I do like it. They're about, I don't know, maybe $100, I'm not sure, but good system. Recommend them. I'm gonna flip this over, clean the other side, get all that gel off. And that Murphy's is water soluble, so if you're worried, you can just wet down your rim and it'll all be gone. Your tubeless tire rims are obviously a little bit harder, as you saw I struggled, but it's still easier than trying to pry it all off the one side. So dismount this side, dismount the other side, push the rim, take the tube out, push the rim down in there and pop it out. It's still going to be easier on the side of the road than trying to pry it off both sides. But personal preference, you go, just do whatever you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and remount this tire.